All right, let's just jump right in. We all love to think we're in control, right? That we're the ones calling the shots in our own lives. But what if I told you that's not always true? What if some of the decisions you made, even just today, weren't really yours to begin with?
Yeah, you think your choices? I mean, you decided what shirt to put on this morning, what to say in that big meeting, what you agreed to. But the thing is, there are these invisible forces, these little psychological tricks all around us, constantly nudging us in one direction or another.
You know the idea that most people are puppets? That's a pretty intense thought, right? That we're just moving along, and they just can't see the strings. Well, that's what we're here to do today. We're going to flip on the lights, expose these tricks for what they are, and show you exactly where those strings are, so you can decide who's really pulling them.
Okay, first up, forced choices and false concessions. These two are some of the most common tricks in the book. You see them everywhere, from your boss's office to your own kitchen table. And they work by creating this fake reality for you to operate in. First, the illusion of choice. This is a total classic. It's a genius little trick because it makes you feel like you have all the power, when in reality, your actual power, the power to just say no, has been completely stripped away. It's just a perfect, simple trap. Think about this classic example. Do you want to finish the report tonight or tomorrow morning? Did you catch what's missing? The real question. They never ask if you're going to do the report. Nope, that's already a given. The only choice you get is when, and no matter what you pick, they win. So why does this work so well? It's because your brain is basically a problem-solving machine. When you give it a choice, like A or B, it immediately goes to work analyzing the pros and cons of A versus B. It's so focused on that decision that it completely skips over the bigger, more important question. Wait, do I have to choose either of these at all? You get this little hit of empowerment, this false sense of control, but all you're really doing is choosing which bars you want on your cage. Okay, so that's the illusion of choice. Now for something a bit different. This next one, the door-in-the-face technique, doesn't really limit your options. Instead, it messes with your sense of social duty. It's all about playing with extremes. Imagine this scenario. It paints a perfect picture. Someone comes up to you asking for a donation for $1,000, the big ask. You're probably going to say, whoa, no way, right? But then they immediately follow up with the real ask. Okay, I understand. How about just $10? All of a sudden, compared to $1,000, $10 feels like nothing. It's practically a bargain. And this isn't just a gut feeling, okay? The numbers back it up. People are literally 3 times more likely to say yes to that smaller request just because they shot down the big one first. 3 times. That is a huge, huge jump. So what's the trap here? Why does this work on us? Well, it taps into this deep-seated psychological principle called reciprocal concession. Basically, when they drop their insane request from $1,000 down to $10, it feels like they did you a favor, like they compromised. And now you feel this pressure, this obligation to compromise back. You're not really saying yes to the $10. You're saying yes because of the relief you feel. All right, let's shift gears. We're moving into the weapons of the mind. These next few are way more subtle. They aren't about asking for things directly. Nope. These are about twisting the whole dynamic of a conversation to get what you want. Let's talk about tactical silence. You've been here. I know you have. You're in a negotiation or even just an argument, and the other person just goes quiet. And it is so awkward, right? That feeling is not an accident. That silence is a weapon. It's a vacuum, and it's designed to make you fill it. See, our brains just hate a void. We can't stand it. That silence sends a little panic signal, and we rush, we scramble to fill that gap. And what happens when we rush? We say too much. We over-explain ourselves. We apologize for no reason. We even make concessions we didn't plan on. It's a total power move. Just remember this. In a negotiation, the person who's comfortable with silence is usually the person in control. Okay, this next one is going to sound completely backwards. It's called the Ben Franklin effect, and it's one of my favorite little quirks of social psychology. We all think, I do favors for people I like. Simple enough. But what if I told you the reverse is also true? That getting someone to do a favor for you actually makes them like you more. So here's how it hacks your brain. It exploits our deep need for our actions and beliefs to line up. When you do a small favor for someone, like lending them a book, your brain has to make sense of it. It goes,
Okay, I just did a nice thing for that person. I generally do nice things for people I like. Huh, I guess I must like that person. It's a clever little bit of reverse engineering to build rapport.
And that brings us to our last section, control wrapped in concern. I saved this one for last because honestly, it might be the most dangerous of them all. It's not overt, it's not aggressive, it's control that pretends to be your friend.
We're talking about a specific type of gaslighting here, one that uses false concern. See, anyone can spot direct criticism and put up a defense. But this is different. This is criticism that's cleverly disguised as someone caring about you, and its only goal is to make you start doubting yourself. So you hear something like, "I'm just worried you're taking on too much. I just don't want you to get stressed." On the surface, that sounds nice, right? It sounds like they care. But what it really means, the hidden message is, "I don't think you can handle this. I am limiting your growth." And that's the trap, isn't it? It sounds so kind that you let your guard down. But underneath, it's planting a little seed of doubt. And over time, that seed grows. And the end game? To make you so unsure of yourself that you need their guidance, their approval, which, of course, gives them all the control. So, let's recap. We've talked about all these strings, the forced choices, the big fake requests, the power of silence, getting favors, and that nasty false concern. And now we're at the most important part, cutting the strings. Because that's really the whole point of this, isn't it? Now you can see the strings, and just seeing them, just being aware of them, is your greatest defense. The moment you can name what's happening, it's like the trick just falls apart. It loses all its power. You're not the puppet anymore. So the question then becomes, who will be in control tomorrow? Knowing this stuff, it changes everything. It hands the power right back to you. It's not about whether people will try to manipulate you. They will. The only question that matters now is whether you'll let them. The real choice, well, that's finally yours.